Taiwan urges U.S. to speed up delayed F-16V deliveries. Taiwan to tackle Taobao's regulatory hurdles amid ASF concerns. Taiwan launches second phase of free flu and COVID-19 shots. Trump lands in South Korea for APEC summit. Massive raid on Brazilian gang leads to 81 arrests, 64 dead. Man pleads guilty to killing Japan's former PM Shinzo Abe. Hong Kong's king of supporting actors Benz dies aged 76. Elon Musk launches his version of Wikipedia.
Hello, I'm Jasmine. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. It is Thursday, October 30th, my rescue day, and here are your top stories. And for today's Taiwan news, Taiwan's Defense Ministry said delays in U.S. arms deliveries, including 66 new F-16V Block 70 jets, were caused by post-pandemic supply chain disruptions. The ministry added it is coordinating with Washington and urging contractors to speed up production to ensure timely delivery. Taiwan's Minister of Economic Affairs, Gong Mingxin, said Chinese e-commerce firms like Taobao face legal hurdles landing in Taiwan, as current rules don't allow Chinese capital in the e-commerce sector. He vowed to meet with related agencies to address regulatory issues amid ASF outbreak concerns. Taiwan CDC announced that the second phase of free flu and COVID-19 vaccinations for 50 to 64 years olds with high-risk conditions starts November 1st. About 120 PX Mart and 32 Care for stores will offer vaccine stations, with gifts for those who complete their shots. And in global news, after a China offensive in Japan that culminated in $490 billion in investment commitments, President Donald Trump met with South Korea's leader on Wednesday as a trade deal with that country appears more elusive. Top officials in Washington and Seoul said the sticky point for an agreement continues to be in logistics behind Trump's demand that South Korea invest $350 billion in the United States. Korean officials said putting up cash could destabilize their own economy, and they'd rather offer loans and loan guarantees instead.
The country would also need a swap line to manage the flow of its currency into the U.S. The disparity between what Trump is asking for and what South Korea can deliver threatens to overshadow the meeting between Trump and South Korean President Lee Jae-myung in Jeongju, a historical city playing host to the annual Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit. Trump said the two countries are wedded, praising their very special relationship during remarks at a business forum. He also said they're very close to a deal. Speaking broadly about international trade, Trump suggested a more conciliatory approach than his usual confrontational stance.
About 2,500 Brazilian police and soldiers launched a massive raid on the drug trafficking gang in Rio de Janeiro on Tuesday, arresting 81 suspects and sparking shootouts that left at least 60 suspects and 4 police officers dead. The operation included officers in helicopters and armored vehicles and targeted the notorious Red Comet in the favelas. The police operation was one of the most violent in Brazil's recent history, with human rights organizations calling for investigations into the death.
Some 81 suspects were arrested, while 93 rifles and more than half a ton of drugs were seized. Authorities said those killed resisted police action. The United Nations human rights body said it was horrified by the deadly police operation, calling for effective investigations and reminding authorities of their obligations under international human rights law. Emerging from Rio's prisons, the Red Command criminal gang has expanded its control over favelas in recent years. Footage showed fire and smoke rising from the two favelas as gunfire rang out. Businesses across the two neighborhoods were closed, and the nearby Federal University of Rio de Janeiro canceled night classes and instructed people on campus to seek shelter.
A man accused of killing former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has pleaded guilty on the first day of his trial. Tatsuya Yamagami told a court in Tokyo that everything is true. He used a homemade gun to shoot Abe during a political campaign event in Nara in 2022. Abe was struck several times and died in hospital later the same day, sending shockwaves around the world. Japan, which has very low levels of gun violence, has since further tightened its law on homemade firearms.
The assassination shone a spotlight on links between Abe's ruling Liberal Democratic Party, LDP, and the Unification Church, more commonly known as the Moonies. Yamagami said he targeted Abe because he blamed the 67-year-old for allegedly promoting the church, which he said had bankrupted his mother and their family. He claimed his mother had donated about 100 million yen, $660,000, to the church as proof of her faith. The allegations prompted investigations into the organization, which originated in South Korea and is known for its mass weddings, and led to the resignation of 4 ministers. In March this year, a Tokyo court ordered the church's disbandment, stripping it of its tax-exempt status and requiring it to liquidate its assets.
Benz, a veteran Hong Kong actor known as the king of supporting actors during his 5-decade career, has died at the age of 76. He passed away in the early hours of Tuesday at a hospital in Hong Kong after suffering complications from cancer. Although Hui may not have been a household name across Asia like many other Hong Kong stars, nor an A-list celebrity, many would instantly recognize his face, which appeared frequently in TV shows and movies.
His IMDb page lists more than 200 acting credits. He specialized in playing hardened cops and gangsters, but also portrayed lovable sidekicks and grumbling uncles. His most famous role was Chung Sir, a police superintendent in the 2002 movie Love Undercover. Another notable performance, as a triad boss in a 2014 film, earned him the nickname Brother FUNDAY after his character. As his career progressed, he began driving a Mercedes-Benz to work, earning him the English nickname Benz Way, which he later adopted. His acting career spanned the heyday of Hong Kong entertainment since the 1970s, when TV shows were watched by millions across Southeast and East Asia.
Elon Musk has launched Wikipedia, his version of Wikipedia, as he seeks to build an alternative information and media ecosystem aligned with his views. The articles are written by Musk's Grok AI, and the site mimics Wikipedia's minimalist style, structure, and reference format. However, Grokipedia is much smaller, with just over 800,000 articles compared to Wikipedia's more than 7 million. While anyone can write and edit Wikipedia articles, it remains unclear how much human involvement Grokipedia has.
Users do have an option to send feedback if they believe they've caught an error. Musk wrote on X, "The goal of Grok and Grokipedia.com is the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. We will never be perfect, but we shall nonetheless strive towards that goal," adding later that he hopes to send copies of Grokipedia, etched in a stable oxide in orbit, the Moon and Mars to preserve it for the future. Conservatives have long accused Wikipedia of strong liberal bias, and Musk has accused Wikipedia of being controlled by far-left activists. Users have already pointed out stark differences between Grokipedia and Wikipedia articles, starting with articles about Musk himself.
The answer for yesterday was B, tempered. His harsh criticism was tempered by a few kind words. Did you answer correctly? Now let's dive into today's news. Massive raid on Brazilian gang leads to 81 arrests, 64 dead. Number 1. Obligation. 义务责任. Employees have an obligation to follow company rules. Number 2. Seize. 抓住夺取. Police seized the illegal drugs during the raid. Number 3. Notorious. 恶名昭彰的. The area is notorious for its heavy traffic. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comments section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. In 2013, My Rescue Day was established by the My Safety and Health Administration to recognize and honor the sacrifice and dedication of volunteers who risk their lives to save others walking in mice. The date, October 30th, was chosen to commemorate the first mine rescue demonstration held in 1911 in Pittsburgh under the direction of the first director of the U.S. Bureau of Mines. And that's all for today's FUNDAY news. Be sure to turn into FUNDAY news from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join FUNDAY for free. I'm Jasmine, your host. I'll see you next time.